Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. As usual, I'm your host, Mike. Hello. How's it going, everybody? We are back. Right off the top, I'm a little sick still. Almost there. Pretty good. Got some Tylenol on me. We're doing okay, but I apologize if I'm sniffling or coughing or making gross sounds. Do my best to stop. Yeah, we're just gonna play some Last Epoch, answer some questions, have some fun. If this is your first time here, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Please put at Last Epoch game in the question if you'd like me to answer it, and we'll get those filtered over, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. We do have some teasers for the stream. There's some good ones here. Are we streaming for charity? Everything goes to the people above my head from stream. We're having I managed to get some time in to do a little stash organization, but didn't make much progress on the gear front yesterday, I was doing most of it yesterday, but in between streams. So we're still looking for an exalted belt to pair with our 3-socket brew belt, and we're looking for. I should do a bunch of jewel robe runs to try and get a 2LP set of these gloves. They're really good. 2LP helmet would be really nice too. Should probably do some of those. We might work in a few jewel robes and a few regular Aberoth, because we're still trying to prep for Uber Aberoth. I think we can do it. Not yet, but I think we'll get there. Can I go over that? I probably can't. First question. Mage has a lot of int scaling options. Even Spellblade, whose skills presumably scale with Dex, have more and better int scaling options than Dex. Any changes to that next season? No, int's still the primary attribute for all mage stuff. Dex is sort of a so Spellblades does have a lot of Dex scaling, but int is still primary, and that's planned to remain that way. Would love to get a 2LP weapon as well. That would be amazing. Amazing. Are you going on any podcasts before launch? Last time you didn't. It was amazing. The community surely would love it. I don't know. Derek's in chat. Derek, are we doing any podcasts? I think he was in chat. I thought I saw him a second ago. Yeah, he's there. I'd love to. It's a lot of fun. My favorite part is actually getting other devs on those podcasts, because I do this all the time. But I love it when we get more perspectives out there. Ooh. Little close call. It's all right. All right. Are there any podcasts? Sadly, we're not for this season, but we are for season 5. Okay, so no podcast tour season 4. Season 5 podcasts are coming back. Oh, no. Grumble, 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 grumble. That G key still getting me. I want to remind everyone the game guide exists every time. It's totally intentional. Yep. Are you able to tell us LE fans what is the season theme? Shattered Omens? I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Like, watch the trailer for like the details on like what's coming. Season theme. I feel like I'm missing like what class is the primary focus. Like Rogue's the main focus for class wise, because there's 2 new. We're breaking a skill out from an existing one, and then we're adding a fresh brand new skill. Blade Dancer's getting a facelift. Yeah. The theme is awesome. And not a description, but just like the theme is awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry. Right. Everyone asks what Mike has been doing. No one asks how Mike's been doing. How has Mike been doing? Mike's been doing pretty great. Mike's a little sick, but Mike's getting over it. Mike's talking in the third person. Totally normal. How many LP was that? 2. Bah. Oh, I missed something down there. Do we go back for it? I think the answer is no. I'm feeling pretty tanky right now. Well, this is appropriate tankiness, but I'm feeling good. Any more void scaling plan for mage with Lament of the Last Refuge Spear? I don't think there's any like major voids like additions. I think we just revealed some changes with the Gasper set that has mage void stuff. There's the new set as well for the rings that do void, not do void, that do volcanic orb. I know one of my buddies is planning on making that build going. See how it works. I think it'll be good. I would love to, like, just as an aside, not related to season 4 or anything like that, just you know, so I'd like to. I would love to do like a void themed mage. I think that'd be so cool. I don't know the mechanical theming that you'd put with it, because there's like Void Knight already has a lot of like void magey style things, even though it is a melee class, but it's kind of like the spell slinging version of that class for the most part. I think if we had the ability to do like time bubbles and things like that, like slow missile bubbles, and I feel like you could do some cool stuff there if we had that tech. I'm just greedy for more design space. Some shards, give me those shards. Only 9. Get this guy. Also going to grab the two other guys up here. Excuse me. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, actually, that torch. I feel like anything 20 plus on Weaver's Will I've got to pick up just out of principle. It's too bad. Alright, a couple of minor skill questions. One for Void Knight Mastery, one of the only real choices for full Caster Void playstyle. Wow, what an appropriate question considering my comment I just made. Could you tweak the Mastery bonus so the extra damage doesn't just apply to only melee? My 4 Void spells. Can you give Dreadshade a fire conversion, please? Much love. So I think that, okay, let's start with number 1 here. Void spells. Yes, I do think there's sort of this like void spell theme running through Void Knight, which I did just mention. And I kind of think that if we did expand that too much and like let it be a full void theme, it does start to crowd out a potential void caster that could come in the future. So in the interest of maybe making that a possibility, a little more space for it, I think we're probably avoiding doing that. Who knows if that'll ever happen, or you know, all that sort of stuff. But if we were in the middle of a design meeting and I was to bring this up as an option, that's probably the response I would get. And then for, try not to die here. And then for a little messy. And also at the same time, we do want to push like a Sentinel as a melee class still. Like it has lots of non-melee options, but having it be melee still, I think, is important as like a primary thing. Dredging fire conversion. So like obviously like Infernal Shade being fire already, Dread Shade getting a fire conversion does make them synergize better, which is great. But visually they become very muddled and unclear on what's what. I think it's pretty unlikely that we'll do that. Like there's room for it to have like poison and cold versions, I think, but both of them being fire, it's tricky. It's not impossible though. I mean, like I feel like at some point they're both going to have enough conversions that they'll both be able to be converted into the same thing anyways, if not their original base versions. All the more reason to buy an MTX Dread Shade MTX. That's funny. Yeah, we're gonna go in here. I still want a better amulet. I still think a better amulet's on the horizon. It's possible. It can happen. Oh dang it, I don't like those ones because it means my amulet that I was just talking about doesn't always give its stats to my bear. Good evening, Mike. Good evening. Do you think we'll ever see a 6th attribute? Ooh, I'd say it's very unlikely. It's not impossible, but like there's sort of this idea of how is this, like two types of like physical offensive, 2 types of mind offensive, and a defensive like physical body bulk version of it, sort of thing. Like vitality is like the defensive one, and so I think between these, like if we were to see a 6, I could see like a I don't know what the other one would be. I don't know where a 6th one could sit that wouldn't encroach on one of the themings of the other ones, really. I think it's pretty unlikely. Maybe if we saw a new class that really needed to lean into it. Okay, so what could we do? We could have like I don't know, like spirit. Have spirit. There we go. Vitality and spirit could be the contrast to vitality. That's actually cool. I don't know what it does. 6 attribute spirit. Do it. I don't know. We've never talked about adding another one. Not in the last 6 years, 7 years, sort of thing. Could a new base class be enough to justify giving it a logical reason to be added? Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it would have to be. There would have to be like a new base class coming in that wouldn't thematically fit with any of the existing attributes, and then we need a new one, which I think would be pretty tough. You can fit most, like you go look at like every like extended class in like D&D and Pathfinder and things like that, and like if you're gonna like take something or like PoE and Diablo and other games like that, like most of the classes you can take and you can like assign them some combination of these 5 attributes, and you can reasonably describe them, sort of thing. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cleared. Yes. This never happens for me. We're just gonna throw everything in here willy-nilly. Do have is idols. Any good ones here? None primed. Not gonna sit here and look through them for a long time. Not gonna sit here and look through them for a long time. Come on, Mike. Don't sit here and look through them. What are you doing, Mike? Close enough. All right. Let's keep moving. Hey, Mike. Is there a reason things like Aspect of the Crow don't have cold conversions? When Crow Storms is switched to cold? If not, could this be changed? Aspect of the Crow. That's interesting. So Aspect of the Crow is that only through the Crow's tree? Spec. I am surprised that doesn't have a cold conversion. When there's a cold conversion in the tree. I would expect that to be converted. If I don't, given what your question is, I don't expect it to be converted, but like if I was just reading this, I would have expected it to be converted, yeah. As like a player. Yeah, I don't know a good reason why that doesn't convert. I think it should. If you told me about it a week ago, I probably could have slipped that in for the patch if it's not already done. If not, could this be changed? It physically can be changed. We are capable of doing that. I think it's too late. I'll write it down. No promises. Because today is Silverlock, so. Oops, there's a. Let's not accidentally click on that. A good catch. It's funny. There's this period before a patch where like hype starts to build back up again, and interest starts to come back, and people are playing, and there's more posts that come out, and like things like this get caught and get brought to our attention, and it's like just past when we can reasonably make these changes. It happens every time. But you could go in a patch, like a patch after the initial drop. It's just we just try and lock down the initial drops early, so we can just like start testing the crap out of it, and then the only things that go in are bug fixes. Let's just grab one of these. I tried to build a boss stunner. Yeah, that's tough. I can see where this is going. With stun duration increases, just to find out there is some hidden mechanic where bosses can't be stunned longer than 1 second. Yeah, it would be cool if there was a tooltip somewhere. Are there plans to make more multiplayer variation builds with roles like support, heal, or tank in mind? Yeah, so we've kind of tried to avoid the Holy Trinity style of tank, heal, DPS sort of thing. We have tried to give options where players can try to like dive into those roles a little bit more, where like taunting options and healing options and things like that. But we really want to avoid that being necessary. And as soon as it's not really necessary, it's hard to build scenarios where it really shines. Where like you look at raid bosses in something like WoW or any MMO, and like there's situations where you need a dedicated healer and you need a dedicated tank. And there's these actions that there's actions that these roles have to fill, and mechanics that are in the fight that are designed for those roles to fill. Like certain phases where there's a lot of pressure on the healing, or certain situations where the tanks have to control the positioning of the boss into specific areas and things like that. But if you make a boss soloable, those mechanics can't really be brought in. So it's a tricky thing. We've kind of steered away from it. We do try to add more options for things like that. We have been increasing those options over time, I think. What was I gonna look at? Boss stunner, 1 second. Is there a thing in here? What does it say? Bosses are harder to stun. Calculation about the maximum health 50% higher. So boss, yeah, it says harder. I don't actually know what the boss like special stun protection is, but yeah, stun locking a boss is almost impossible. Nice. And we like ours. Yeah, let's get in the some changes. Let's go do a regular Aberoth. I want to crack at the helmet. Any more support for Electrify coming from Paladin? Would love to see more options. Yeah, there's I don't know about 1.4, but there are more Electrify things for Paladin coming in general. I don't know when the next one's coming, but yes, there are Paladin Electrify things that have been approved and implemented for the future patches after 1.4. There might be something for 1.4 as well. Good evening, Mike. Good evening. Hope you are better. Improving. We'll say that. I apologize for any sniffles, storfles.
So you finally returned to me.
I just saw someone say, so 1.5. Well, I've been working on 1.6 stuff. Good evening, Mike. Hope you are better. In the latest The Terra Monthly, you show mastery stats for Season 3. Yes. Have these stats already influenced Season 4? Yeah. Changes for Warlock, Sorcerer, Spellblade, and Forge Guard, which are hardly chosen. Yeah, it is interesting. The stats, that how they change over the lifespan of a season, I think is really interesting. And we've got a lot of new visualization tools for this for the data, and where those the snapshots for where those classes are being chosen and like into what level of corruption they're being taken and things like that, like what actions they're completing, what level they're getting to. There's a lot more nuance in the data than what was shown, but I do think it's really good what was shown. And there's we have been using that data to sort of like help our understanding of what's going on with the players, but it's not like these ones low buff. It's not quite that simple. Beer. If it is wondering why my beers are potions, it's because I have the Brewmaster's Buckle Belt on. Alright, come on, helmet. Oh, we got two! We got two! 3 LP of that, that's nice.
No.
Empties. Empties are fine, because empties can be taken to certain Nemesis boy. But yeah, there's I think the data, so with the data on like which abilities are used and that sort of stuff, I think that there is some skewing in like, hey, this is the strongest. How do I say this? If a build is 10% stronger than another build, I think it's gonna see way more than double the amount of play. So I think you'll see bigger gaps than in the amount that builds are played than the strength differential between them. So a really significant play gap doesn't necessarily indicate a really significant power gap. It can, it's just not always a 1-to-1. So we can't use the data as the only thing that guides how we're balancing things and how we're adding content and things like that. Sometimes as well, even if two things are the same power level, one can be played dramatically more just because it's more fun to play. So yeah, while it's a really good tool, and we are definitely using it to influence how we are doing things, it's not it's an influence. It's not I don't know, a dictation. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. We've been using it for stuff even farther in the future too, as well. Ooh, all right. Next question. Hey, Mike. Much love as always. Thank you very much. I know that much of the Paladin changes are coming in Season 5, but can we expect some surprise updates to Paladin in some form of Season 4? Perhaps some skill additions? There are no new Paladin skills coming for Season 4. All of the new skills coming in Season 4 have been teased. There are no hidden secret skills coming. Sorry. Yeah, loot lizard. Yeah. Will there be option to assign the force standstill button for skills in Season 4 instead of being fixed with the shift key? Good. I don't think so. I normally use the spacebar in every other game. That's a good point. We don't have that as a bindable option. I don't think we've changed that. I would like to see that though. I think that's a good suggestion. if you have time, please put that in the suggestions channel on our Discord or forums. I would like to see it too. Class-specific idol? Yeah. I don't think we have enough, but... Oh, we do! 1 LP. We'll get a 2. It'll happen.
These parts will not go to waste.
Oh. Hello. Eh. Hello, Mike and crew. I'm really looking forward to season 4 and all the way up to the expansion. Me too. Are you overall happy with the blessing system and the depth it brings, or are there bigger plans for bigger overhauls? I think the blessing system is pretty good overall. I think that there is... I think there's room for meta changes to how, like, changes to this, which we are targeting. So like this layout and the way you interact with this is kind of just like, which ones have good blessings? Go to those ones. Great. Like that's kind of it right now. And so the blessings are doing a good job at incentivizing specific targets. However, it's kind of the same for everyone. I think it would be best if there was, like, based on the class you're playing and based on like what your character has and what it needs, there was more sort of like decision making that went with it. That would be nice. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with what they're doing in general. Ooh, okay, that was close. I just hit. I just hit a health potion from a different health potion button. I'm like, that doesn't do anything in this game. Okay. Ooh, close. Little close there. More questions here. I myself would like to see the shard blessings get a change because they just feel empty. In early game and end game, what are your thoughts on these two? Yeah, I think that the shard system in general needs it's something we've been talking about with just in general the shards. There was a time when we needed to have more things drop and more things that were consistently like, ooh, piece of candy dropping. We've got a lot of different things now that sort of like pepper in the drops. They're like, yeah, I'll pick that up. Like all of these things that do drop, like the top section is a drop, and like open echoes that can drop, and like just random items that are good, and like idols, and we added shards as a droppable thing before like any of those things existed. Like the idol system wasn't even in the game, and I think because there's so many affixes that have been added to the game since that happened as well, and the like actual usage and rarity and accessibility of specific shards has gone with like loot filter. It's a lot easier to get loaded up on the specific shards you need by just like putting that in the filter and being like, give me those things in the filter and shattering them. So like I think there's room for shards to kind of just like not be droppable at all anymore, possibly. Or have like the shards in general see a bit of a shift in what the way they work. Whoa. Well, you know what that means? It's spoiler time. Here is a node. A little bit of zombie dread shade action. We were talking about dread shades earlier. So you have a chance to cast dread shade on zombies created by a direct cast of volatile zombie. This consumes mana equal to a percentage of Dread Shade's mana cost. If you are at your maximum number of Dread Shades, this effect will not occur. So it's a 3-point node, and caps out at 100%. A little bit of zombie Dread Shade synergy there. Interesting new little node. All right, and like, Derek, good job on this one. See, like, we got the big fancy one here for the center, and then ooh, fits in the side nicely. Yes, you can still read it. 2 versions. Big fan. I know it seems like such a dumb little thing, but I really like this. And keep playing. We're evolving. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some Temporal Sanctum. I'm gonna do a couple Temporal Sanctum kills just to like try and farm some gloves here. Not even know if I'll do the legendary creation. Okay. I need to respect. I was talking about how tanky I was feeling earlier. We need to respect this more. A lot more. A lot more. Good God, what is happening? If I don't die in this, I will be shocked. Maybe have to turn the corruption down. I don't have enough teasers for this. Oh, good job, Mike. Let's just spawn that while we're in the middle of a gigantic fight that is way too much as it is. Run away! Come on, Rift Beast, over here. Come on, Beastie. Yeah, saw that coming. That's unfortunate. Okay. We don't like it over there. It's mean. Let me come over here. All right, Summon Stormcrow's basic spell is Lightning Bolt, as far as I know. Will they get a whole new fire base spell when converted to fire? Yeah, if they're converted to fire, they get their base attack is fire, yes. If so, which one? Or will it just be that Lightning Bolt is converted to fire? Fire to lightning. Lightning to fire, I think it's meant. And also, will their companion skill Crowstorm also just be lightning tag replaced with fire? I think it's I think it should be like a different ability, like new VFX. It'll probably be the same base damage, like the stats on it should be the same. So it'll be like the same stats, but new visuals and new tags. That's what it should be. Basically, whatever the cold one does, the fire one should do the same way. Cold one just also gets freeze. It's cold special like that. It'll have a visual difference if that's what you were asking about. Like, conversions come with visual changes, yeah. Alright. This is your weekly character sheet reminder alongside wishes of feeling better soon. Thanks, Cyborg. Not stand in the fire. Pro tips for Mike. No one's ever thought of that before, have they? I was just showing you why you shouldn't stand in the fire right there. That's all that was. This is your... Oh yeah, instead, are you guys considering adding an armory for quickly swapping, saving builds and gear? No, we're not currently considering that. This is one of those things that we've kind of always been interested in having you know, like, this is your character, this is your build. If you really want to change it, you can, but like, there's a nice feeling around the progression and the construction of your character's builds and properties and powers and things like that, and having that be something that is carries a little bit of like a little bit of attachment is nice, I think. And having those be quick swappable. We got one. Having those be quick swappable is not something we're like wholesale quick swappable is not something we're super interested in. Mostly because it leads to the idea of like, here's a hyper specialized boss killing build, and here's a hyper specialized like corruption pushing build, and here's a hyper specialized jewel rebuild, and you kind of just like switch between your things for the action you're taking, and it takes away from some of the like the attachment, the investment, the feeling with that specific character. Like I know I bring it up way too much, but like that was one of the things that I actually loved about the original Diablo 2, before you could respec, when you were just like, if you make a mistake clicking on the wrong button, you're remaking your character from scratch. Like, that was it. There was no way to make a change. There was no confirmation button when you click the skill point allocation. It was just, oh, all right, that's what your character is now. And more than once, I remade characters from scratch because I made a single point mistake. I was like, nope, it's got to be perfect. And you'd see characters that are like level 80, and they're like, I have 4 points allocated just so I can like have something to cast. You're like, I put points in up to teleport, and that's it. Or you have to like save points because your skill is in it's a level 30 skill, and yeah. Obviously we're not going that far. Hopefully, obviously. But I think there's something in that feeling, and having just like a little piece of it is nice. Are you guys consider? Or is that? There are a few staffs in the game, Staves. Jesper, Searing Pride, for example, are designed for melee combat. Yes, that was actually a backer unique. I worked on that one too, and I really like it. Does this style of staff limit the design team in making more melee-oriented staves? No. Will we ever see a shift to having a quarterstaff category? I could see it existing. I don't think there's anything that was like preventing it, really. I think it would need to be, there would need to be something that would call for it, like a specific class that's like, hey, that's a class that like uses that type of weapon, and it's really interesting to have there, sort of thing. I think we will sometimes like fit like that thematic. Individual themings for those things can sometimes happen on uniques, but if there's enough design space for a whole class, fitting it into a whole class I think is a lot of fun. And often new weapon categories come with classes, I think, is the feeling we have internally for the most part. We take tier 7 items, skill items. I've noticed Last Epoch doesn't have anything like mana reservation. That's true. Are those something you wish to avoid, or just haven't found a nice way to implement? Like a bit of both, really. We don't have. I think so. I think one of the key things with a mana reservation system is that let's look at PoE as an example. PoE 1, and when you can like switch, you have more skills basically on your bar, more skill slots on your bar, because we're pretty hard limited to 5, and changing one out does kind of turn off all the things it can do. I think we've tend to if we're going to have something that does that style of effect, it's more like we're creating a system for it to be triggered repeatedly, and so you don't have to put it on your bar. But we want to have the things that are on your bar be things that you are able to actively use. Is sort of the in as many cases as possible. I know there's a few that it just doesn't work that way, which isn't ideal. Slide these in here and here. The negative mana thing also causes mana reservation to be weird. New Harbingers in the expansion or 1.6? Well, I mean, the expansion, I would call the expansion 1.6. And I don't know. It's possible. I haven't seen any. But, you know, lots of the stuff that we're working on for 1.6 right now is like just larger scale systems where like you have to do 1,000 or something, you know? Hey Mike, in 1.2 we got a lot of really cool and strong Sentinel passive nodes that offer uncapped more X per Y scalars to build around. Do you feel like this rework overall was a success? Can we expect to see more of these powerful effects added to other class passive tree? I think overall, yes. You know, some are too strong, some were strong enough. But overall, the style of the things we've been doing to passive trees in the last few seasons, I think, has been good. And yeah, as we see new classes get like we'll tend to focus a little bit on a class and get a few more skills in there, sort of flesh out like what's here. The passive trees also tend to get hit at the same time, and we get more interesting. I think we were talking about the the number of what do you call it, threshold nodes, and like the ratio of those around. Those are interesting too. Probably see more of those in general when that happens. We love those loot lizards. Yes, we do. I want a oh, there he's down there. I'm like, I thought I saw one. Did see one. Is he run this way? We're just going from. Ooh, actually, we have chests. These are good for us. Not that good, apparently. I want my new chest piece. It's coming. It's in one of those boxes. There's a box out there somewhere that has a beautiful chest piece for me. It's got like tons of melee minion crit and tons of strength and tons of health, and it's just pretty. And it's waiting for me. I know it is. I just have to find it. Ah. As we expected. That's okay. Next one I'll get to. Alright. What are some of the upcoming changes to Bizarre function? There's not a ton in 1.4. We've shown there was a screenshot 2 weeks back that I think showed like the major changes. The that's the teleport button. I think I don't know if this is a thing right now, like where you can place the item in and it like auto. Yeah, it's a thing. You like auto populates filters and things like that. And so you can like manually kind of check items. And we're adding a couple. I don't play MG. That's the problem. There's 2 new sorting options for MG, I think, as well. We showed these a couple weeks ago in a picture. If you can't find them, ask in the Discord after the stream, and I'll find the picture for you again. I'm just gonna take a second to blow my nose. One sec. All right. Woo. We're back. Ooh, my belt. I really believe a good marketplace system would take Epoch to another level. It would improve retention immensely. Perhaps allow Bazaar and COF factions simultaneously. No, we're not doing that. The whole point of the system is to never do that. That's as soon as we do that, the whole system like just falls apart completely. Like just don't allow COF to be traded and tweak COF less drops. Yeah, like the whole point of COF and MG is that they exist as like 2 sides of the same coin, not as simultaneous mechanics. They are distinct and split very intentionally. It's rare that I take a hard stance on something like that, but like, and you're welcome to put it in the suggestions channel and things like that. But like, this is one of those ones that I can tell you is not going to be discussed past like people are asking for it. Cool. Because it's so intrinsic to the system. Oh, no. Oh, hello. Didn't even see you there. Where'd you come from? All right. Do you think we can ever make a mini map zoom out the same amount as the map overlay? Yeah, like this is the thing is like it used to have zoom options. And like I actually made a bug report recently that I'm like they're missing. And someone's like, "Yeah, we took them away." And I'm like, "What? No." So I don't know if they're coming back or not, but I really hope they do. Cause yeah, I want them to zoom out as well. I always use the overlay so I don't miss off-screen drops, but I find it makes me zone out of the game itself, and I'm watching where a player icon is on the overlay. Yeah, I agree. I was commenting on this. I was playing another RPG recently. Like, I was getting stuck on barrels walking through a dungeon, and I'm like, so I'm just looking at the overlay map. I can't even see what's on screen. Okay, this one's that's gonna be the other ones in my stash. Here, this one away, bring this one out. Yes, for sure. Empower, lovely. Pop. It's close. How do you guys feel about the balance of... I'm going to clean this up a little bit. How do you guys feel about the balance of dodge versus non-dodge builds? Yeah, dodge is an interesting beast. Always, I struggle to make any items and mechanics that relate around dodge. Like, I struggle so hard with dodge personally. I try every once in a while, and they never seem to pan out. Okay. Focus on the game a little bit, Mike. Just enough to actually not die. After a certain point, dodge builds practically stop becoming squishier. Practically stop becoming squishier. I mean, they have this weird, like, you kind of have to be able to survive a big hit, but if you can survive a big hit, why do you need to dodge? Oh, okay, we've got some juice here. Right here. Come on, big one. Yes. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. It's happening. It's happening. Okay, it didn't multi-chain. I love it when that happens. Yeah, we'll grab that. Why not? Okay. Yeah. We don't hit that. Okay. I'm trying to get to another question, but I feel like I'm just going to die if I look away from the screen right now. Like, just a little too high corruption, I think, to do this effectively. After a certain point, dodge builds particularly stop becoming squishier when you get one shot by most attacks, but can still reliably clear with high enough dodge, especially Silver Shroud. Yes. Letting them push higher and higher without needing more defensive investment, while non-dodge builds can't do the same. Yeah, it's sort of this, like, you start gambling on it, and without a high death penalty, it's just a time delay thing, but eventually you'll get it if you just get enough lucky dodges in a row, sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know the way to resolve this. I agree it's an issue. Because you can never get to 100% dodge. If you ever get to 100% dodge, as like just to always dodge everything no matter what, you're just effectively immortal to hits, and you don't need other things. But then there has to be like certain types of damage that can bypass dodge, sort of thing. The dodge has to be really weak to, but as soon as there's like some type of damage the dodge has to be susceptible to in some way, it needs to be avoidable, mechanically avoidable. So like a dot pool that you can physically step out of, sort of thing. Or it needs to be, or the character needs to be able to build tanky enough to be able to survive it, sort of thing. In which case, why not just be tanky enough to survive everything? What's the point of dodge? I don't know how to fix this. I agree. It is an issue for like extreme scenarios, like extreme ends of the progression spectrum scenarios. Will it ever be possible to save Weaver tree layouts, or does that create a nightmare issue a non-programmer mind like myself cannot see? No, there's no issue there. I'm trying to think of one now. I can't think of one. I don't see a reason why not. Like a functional reason why not? No. Yeah. I'd love us to have some way to plan out, like have specific plans for your skill tree layouts and like not just Weaver tree but any tree, having it be like, this is what I'm gonna do, because so frequently, like if you take an item out and it like takes away points and you're like, where were they again? We do have this, because there is a system where it tells you where the points were taken out, and it's broken right now and it is fixed for next season. However, maybe that happens over the course of like 3 days, and you come back to it and they're out and you're like, you don't remember where it is, through a logout it doesn't remind you, sort of thing. Or even just when you plan ahead and you like come back the next day and you start playing, you don't remember what you were going to do and you make a mistake and you have to undo it and it sucks. So yeah, like having ways to plan this out, I think would be really sweet. Like passive tree, any tree with lots of points, having a way to plan it out and have that plan be in the game, I do think is a really nice quality of life thing. Weaver tree is interesting because it's kind of I think you spend less time looking at it and more time away from it, and there's more room for, like, I got a point, like it's been a week and since I put a point in there, but I got a random point because I finished an extra echo that it hadn't completed before. And those last few points, you're just like, whatever, I'll just slap it in this. And you're like, oh, I was going to go the last 3 points this direction to get this one here. And you just forget about it. So it's, yeah, I do think there's room for that being a really positive thing. You're staying with me, though. This is going to be a tough question to answer. I can tell already. In Last Epoch, it feels like a lot of overall character power is concentrated in skill trees and passives. Yes, as opposed to items. And very few more multis on items. In the last few seasons, items have become more powerful, more impactful. Though it still feels like skill and passive choice matters a lot more. Yes. Is there any ideal state of how much power should be innate from versus from items? E.g., should a min-max character be 5 times or 5,000 times stronger than a fresh endgame one? I would really like to see a lot of the power shift from character tree. I'd love to have items be. It doesn't necessarily need to be out of the character tree, but I think that items need to be. There needs to be significant power jumps when finding individual items. I think those moments of like, hey, I just put on a Griffin's and my light sork has become insanely powerful. This is amazing. Ooh. Let me tell you what I found yesterday. Those moments are fantastic. And so I think having that power, more power come from items, makes those happen more often. As far as the ratio of like how powerful a fresh endgame character to a like deep endgame character should be, I think it should be pretty significant. I think it should be. I don't know. I don't want to put a number to it. I think very significant would be the qualitative description I'd give it. But I don't feel comfortable saying a number. Sorry. I'd love to see. So you're absolutely right. There has been a shift from skill trees into items a little bit, and I think having more of that shift happen is really a positive thing. Any more of those sneaking around that I'm just not seeing? They're all vault. I still have to do those vaults. Let's go get another helm. I don't think this one's gonna work out. I can feel it. Oh, let's do Jorah first. We want 2 LP gloves. For the gloves, 1 time. Oh, pretty well. I don't know how long they go. Gil, first part complete. How do you feel from the numbers published on the class played from this patch, especially when you see Forge's top 2 most skills used skills being paladin skills? Yeah, it's, you know, I think it just shows this is probably one of the better examples of skills that you want to work a certain way, and then it's sad that they don't. We get so many people looking at the like when a manifest armor spawns in and you're like, oh, it copies my gear, this is incredible, and I'm gonna have it copy these things that my gear does, and it doesn't work, and those things it only copies stats, not weird functionality things. What I'll be I would really love to be able to have it take more of those stats directly, and like the forged weapons, and it doesn't quite do the cool thing that you want it to do. This is not a straightforward thing, I don't think. Thanks to the stats there. Yeah. Symbols. I assume Symbols of Hope is the number 1. It's just so. I think it more shows how OP Symbols of Hope is than anything else. Or maybe not OP, but just like, why not take it? Like, the opportunity cost is so nothing. More gloves. Okay, let's try a couple more. I'm not gonna do this for too long. I'm not gonna do 100 of these. Do those offline. I think Symbols is like the most used skill percentage wise in the game. Of like people, like if you can use it, you're probably using it, sort of thing. Some big hits right there. Double gloves. One more. I promise. Last one. Just 1 gloves. Hope you're doing well. Will Season 4's new mechanic be accessible as early as the campaign? Yes. Or do we have to wait until Monolith things? No. It is available in the campaign. It will be the first of the mechanics you see in the campaign. So this is something we've always tried to do is have the whatever the like latest mechanic is be the first one you encounter. So we push back the I didn't even look to see what those ones were. Ones, yeah, must be. So you can't like you right now, the earliest that you can interact with one of the mechanics as far as like mages and nemesis and the rift beast, the rift beast happens first because it's the newest one, so we're pushing back rift beast for where it starts in the campaign just a little bit. And the Oma windows will be the first one you'll encounter. I think it has like a fixed position that it starts at, sort of thing.
finally returned to me, and with a guest. But first, prove yourselves worthy.
All right, will season 4 have more quality of life on prophecies? Technically, yes. The most tenuous technically ever. Oh, there's very little happening with them in season 4. There'll be more stuff happening with them in season 5. Quite a bit more. And the major thing that's happening is like some of the like we did this a little bit already last season, and then even more is happening is the icons are just getting improved so that you'll be able to see more information from the icons. I think that's the only thing that's changing in 1.4. Come on, helmet. Show me a helmet. We'll take a 0.
No.
I will not use the other thing, so I don't even know why I'm picking them up.
You can rest.
All right, that's fine. Let's go get some Nemesis. Let's roll these. Let's roll these helmets. But yeah, with in general with the prophecies, I think there are quite a few spots that we would like to make changes to the prophecy system and CUF in general to improve the functionality and flow of the systems. I think it needs more than just like you know, like people are spending right now. We want to acknowledge people are spending too long in the re-rolling window trying to get especially once you get into like when you're trying to min-max the system. I think when you're in that system early and from like the naive approach sort of thing, or like the I'm not going to try and min-max the system approach, it is working really well. I think players are able to see like, oh, there's this cool thing. If I complete this challenge, I'll get something that's related to items that I want, and they're doing it, they're getting it. It's awesome, great. As soon as you start digging into like, okay, which is the most efficient and like what's the absolute best thing to get, and like how do I make this the most bang for my buck that I can possibly get out of the system, you're suddenly looking at re-rolling very hard to get very specific options. And like little like numerical changes, like increasing the total number of stars that show up each time, like helps. But then like you're also digging into, okay, you're increasing the UI functionality so you can tell what they are more quickly. Like they have backgrounds that show where they're from, and they have icons that say what the reward is, but like some of those icons are shared right now, and so we're fixing that part of it. So there's like lots of little things we can do to like make it a little bit better. But I think addressing more of the root cause of, hey, when you're trying to min-max it, you're having to force really specific ones. I think addressing that issue is more important. So we're taking a little bit longer, harder look at the system overall, I think. I just really want everyone to know the game guide exists. That's why I keep opening it. Not because I'm making a mistake and think I'm actually opening Town Portal or anything. And let's force this one to open too. We can do boss. I missed the Team Canada jersey. I feel you need some stereotypical Canadian items sprinkled behind you. Like an empty double from Timmy's, or a bag of ketchup chips, or a Mountie hat hanging on the Christmas wreath in the door. Okay. It is right here though, so. There we go. I see it's in front of me so I can see it. But yes, I'll put it there for the stream. Right. I just realized why I was having such a tough time in that with all those giant fireballs. My fire res is still not capped. All right. You know what we're missing? Okay, as soon as this is over, I got more teasers. I gotta get more teasers. Gotta do it. I'm sorry. I apologize for the lack of teasers so far. Let's race to the finish. I'll pop this first. Come on, where's my chest? I want my chest, please. Some chest, that's my chest, and I want it now. Ooh, my helmet. Womp, 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 womp. It's unfortunate. Okay, we'll use that one for re-rolling later. Hey Mike, looking good, dude. Thank you. Question. You guys ever thought about adding a class or mechanic that works off of combos with like being able to proc an ultimate if you put together a specific combo? Like, cast a fire spell, cast a lightning spell, cast a cold spell, and do like some sweet like mega triple beam spitty fire lightning cold thing. Yes, we have. That's a lot of the theming and ideas behind Rune Master, actually. But yeah, having like I think there's probably room for it in more of a physical combat sense than a spellcaster sense. Yeah, like Rune Master, but make it do damage. Okay, fine, if you say so. Yeah. All right, let's grab another one of these bad boys. Here's an item. Here's a cool item. What's this item? Have we shown this item before? Did we show it corrupted? I feel like we already showed this one. Yeah, it was shown corrupted. Oh. Old teaser, Mike. Oh, for shame. I apologize. Here's a new one. Remove that one. I've removed it. This one's new. So we heard you like corruption. I think we've shown you the art for this one before. I think that's what we've shown. Yeah, there you go. That's a better reaction. But now, how often, Mike? I don't know if there's a cap. I think you can just keep doing it because, like, eventually it'll just brick, right? Right? I don't know if there's a cap. Is there a cap? Let's find out. Who would know quickly? Oh, they're on vacation. I don't know if there's a cap. Can it have more than 6 affixes? I don't. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that's the thing. Is there a practical limit on the number of affixes that will display on the tooltip? Because that's probably the limit. I mean, it should just keep adding spots because they're all sealed, right? I don't know. Let's see if they know. I'll see if I can find out what the maximum is. We may have to go to Discord in the future for this one. Whoops, turn that off. There we go. Slap it down there. Beauty. Derek, thank you for the multi images. It's fantastic. Okay. Devourer of Hives. It's weird that the Devourer of Hives is a bee. Like, I guess it's a bear. Is it like half a bear? Is that what that's supposed to be? That guy did not want to die. Is there a chance of getting the seal a random stat rune back? Old rune mages will rune the research return. No. I don't think so. Like, there's always a chance, right? We don't have any plans for it at the moment. Put it that way, I think it'd be better. Usually things get like removed for a reason, and it's quite rare that we undo those reasons. We already know those. I should have just banished it. I should just like, oh no, because we want it back, because I should have challenged it right away, because I could have got a second stat, then it would have been 2 LP rerollable. Yeah, okay. Fine, that was the right thing to do. Chances of anything else happening were very rare though. No, don't want an ice beetle. I wish these had icons on the map, so like they were like a little bit different. Even just like a color shift, or like a dot, a little colored dot on them. Hi Mike, how would you invite players to new season? Or hard won new players? How would you invite players to the new season, or hard won new players? I cannot wait to come. Let's go. Keep up the good work, EHG. Thanks. I would show them the trailer, because I think the trailer has a lot of cool stuff in it. Okay, so I'm as far as the ring is concerned, give it a try, see how many you can do. It still does have the maximum, the limit of 1 set and champion affix though, so you can't get multi-set affixes on it. That limit still exists, just to be clear. Was that it? Was that my chest? Oh, that may have been my chest. Disappointing. Those dings are carved, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Right. Just drop, you see it dropping items, like, come on, one of them's gonna show up. Little strength shard. Like that's the sort of thing that like we've wanted to have, like little pick upables, things like that, but you know, like one strength shard like that, it's just nothing, doesn't mean anything anymore. All right, because this is pretty sweet. Because that's perfectly rolled, actually. I knew it was high. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if we get a good chance on it. Yeah. Yeah. Start filing away some questions for Carve. You might get a chance soon. Any plans on adding more woven echoes like Lost Wood Folly that boost surrounding echoes in different ways? Yes. This is something we've talked about doing more of. I don't know if there's any for 1.4, but this is the style of thing that I think we're getting more requests for in general. I'd really like to see more of them. Big fan. Any new changes to endgame, like how you build corruption or new blessings from the left side timeline that bosses can drop? Also, Barbarian when. Barbarian when, I don't know. I'd love to have more classes in general, though. Just as a general note, I love class design and you know, like getting new skills, and it's like big fan. And yeah, but Barbarian would not be my first choice for a mastery edition. I'm sorry, personally. Right, as far as the blessings on the left side sort of thing, we are like the whole layout and the way you interact with the monolith and progress with the monolith in general. We're taking a long, hard look at right now, and have been making some big adjustments to the meta progression for the monolith. So yeah, that's definitely heavily on the table for changes. Hey, look at that! We got a raiding party. Welcome everyone from the Dark Omen stream. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're having a wonderful time this fine Friday morning, evening, afternoon, Saturday for some people as well. Probably not morning for anyone anymore. Well, it's possible. Come on out. You're fine. Nothing here. Nothing scary. Just little me and my bear. My bear's real angry though. All right. Thanks for answering my question earlier in detail. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Here's another one. Can ruined items be sold on Merchant's Guild? And if so, can we filter those? I don't know. I don't think they can be sold. Maybe there would be no point in buying one. Like, they're completely useless. I guess the only point would be like, look at what I lost. I'd be surprised if they were listable. Here. I'd be surprised if they are. They're just like, 'cause you can't even equip them. You can't put them on. I know if I ruin an item, it's going straight. Maybe it won't. If it's like my only item of the type, I'd probably keep it. But most of the time, it's just getting dropped on the ground, I think. What do you think about the state of experimental items? Feels like now that you can't seal the affix, they're just not worth wasting an affix slot. I think their mechanics are interesting, and I don't know, I really like them. I think they're a lot more fun and interesting than like the most optimal item affixes in a lot of situations. Which means they might not fit into a lot of like perfect build guides and like best in slot scenarios. But I'm a really big fan of things that add functional changes over power changes. And then figuring out a way to leverage those functional changes into power changes. You're just... Go kill that thing for me, please. Thank you. Still almost got me. Ugh. Alright, who's getting empowered? More questions. What are we doing here? Can you tell the tale of how the conversation went in wording potion into beer? I don't remember. I don't know if I was there for that one. If I had to guess, it was probably just something as simple as like it was probably part of the original pitch for Woven Echoes. So like when we were originally starting up Woven Echoes, we just put out like a studio wide, like, anyone have any ideas for echoes they think would be cool to add in that are thematic and like what do you want them to do sort of thing. And I could see it being like just right in that original pitch that someone had. You know what it probably was? It probably was like in the original pitch. I'm kind of just making this up of what I expect it to have been, but I don't know. It probably had like a mechanical change too, with like made the screen like blurry and like you take reduced damage, but you can't see any numbers on the screen or something like that. Or like you take less damage, but your health always appears 10% higher than it actually is. So you don't know how hurt you are. So something like, I thought there was some weird thing like that. And they were like, well, we can do the name change, but the other one, yeah. Oh, look who's over here. Just hiding away over there, aren't you? All the chaos, we didn't even see him. Sorry about that. We're back. All right. More questions. Hey Mike, killing Uberoth requires you to also kill normal Aberoth for a key each time. Yes. Each time you open a new version of it, yes. I was gonna be like, no, you can do it over and over with one, but that's just if you fail every time, like I've been doing. Yes. In extreme cases, very strong characters actually take longer to do normal than Uber. Yeah, I can see that. Because it's just the way that the fight's laid out. That's a nice one too. Do you want to put something in here? I mean, there's lots of stuff we could probably do. Let me read the rest of this question. Extreme cases, very strong characters can actually take longer to do normal than Uber, due to the cutscenes and Harbinger phase. Are there any plans for something similar to how pinnacle farming to allow pinnacle farming on content with more appropriate difficulty? Blech. P.S. Uber Echo imprint never procs. Interesting. That was going to be what I was going to say. But that also makes sense that it never procs. I feel the frustration here because you're like, there's this content that has no reward for me that I have to do as like a busy work task to gain access to the thing that's actually challenging and actually rewarding. At the same time, so where does the is there a point where there is where the Uber fight just becomes open and you can just do it, you can just chain it? Does it ever make sense for it to chain itself, I guess is the question. Probably not. So you're doing something else in between, so you're not just farming that one thing that's the only thing you're doing, it's just farming Uberoth. So having the key come from somewhere else other than itself, it needs to be something more reliable, right? Because if it's just a random drop in the game, like if it can just drop from any mob, then you have, there's no deterministic way of doing it. I don't know of a better way to do this right now. I understand where the frustration is though, for sure. Because you can get corruption up high enough, because normal Aberoth is a fixed difficulty content, and there's a very fixed set of drops that can come from it, that you can get in a situation where there's nothing for you there, no challenge, no reward. Whereas there can still be a challenge and reward from doing echoes because you can crank the corruption up high enough. I think so. Yeah, it kind of has to come from some, from the monolith in general, right? I did get a response. Yeah, Frozen. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know a solution here. I don't think there's any plans to change this right now. I feel like this was a topic that came up recently, though. I think so I was out on vacation in December, and I think I read some meeting notes talking or something like this. This is familiar, but I don't know what if anything came of that. I did just get a reply about when a corrupted item becomes ruined, if you can list it. No, you can't list it on the auction house. It becomes untradeable as soon as it's listed. Apparently, I'm also being told that Uber Aberoth imprint can actually spawn, but the rate is just so crazy low that it seems like it might not be able to. Okay, should we put some of these in? I feel like we should. Yeah, I do want to hit that at some point. Don't need to do that right now. Which one's this one? Yes, we do want to do that one as well. I do also just like this one, so I'm just going to do a few of these. Because it also has a chance to drop what we're after. A bunch of Rift Beast stuff. Why not, right? Whole bunch of them. Oh, of course they didn't connect. Of course they didn't connect. That's fine. You, my friend, are getting enchanted. It is not the one we want. So we're going to re-enchant it. Also not the one we want. Still quite good. Actually, let's just like shove it through this and see what it gets. Weaver. No. Nah. Let's go this way first. Alright, the corruption craft that makes items completely ruined and unequipable, isn't that a bit too harsh? It is pretty brutal. It's fairly rare to happen though. I feel like losing that one GG item would really hurt. It would, yes. A bad corruption roll wouldn't hurt likely completely bricking an item, or would you pedal back on it depending on the feedback on it? I mean, we've been getting tons of feedback from the CTs already, and we have made extensive changes to the system from the initial version of it, based on their feedback of like which mods are available, the rates that those mods appear, which other changes can be made, the rates that those other changes appear. Like the system's gone through many iterations. This guy's kind of scary. He just killed my dude. What the heck? I think that's what I had to do there. I feel terrible for what I just did. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Run away? Go back in? Good golly. Am I capable of this? Okay. That one was just really crazy. Whatever combination it had. My goodness. Okay. Woo. Huh. Yeah, okay, so corruption craft being able to ruin an item completely. I think there's a situation where when you are you hit plateaus. You hit situations where you do have difficult. It's difficult to progress. It's difficult to like just get a little bit stronger item. And you end up with several very comparable items. I think that happens a lot at different points. That like for each item slot, that kind of just happens, and then you find something that's significantly better and it jumps up. And if your build and your current progression in the end game hinges on a specific item, corrupting that item is a big gamble. And that is an intentional way that it's being presented, as a big gamble. But I think there's a lot of room for people to A, take that gamble if they want, and B, just have situations where you have maybe two items that are competing for quality in that slot, and corrupting one of them. And if it is an improvement, then getting the other one too, and you end up with this situation where maybe you brick one of them and it's fine though, because you still have the other one. Maybe it's one that like started off worse, but because it got a good corruption, it's now better. And in a scenario like that, even having like it get no change, or get a really, really minor positive change, I think can leave you in a situation where it's functionally the same, because you're just not using it anyways, because you've got 5 items and you corrupt all 5 of them. And if one of them gets a nothing roll and one of them gets a boost to ward retention, but you don't do any ward stuff, and one of them ruins completely, all 3 of those items are effectively still the same thing if one of them gets plus 20 to damage and you need damage, you know? I'm just gonna pick these up because they're all cool. This is going in here. I kind of want to use it, but I'm feeling a little fragile right now. Okay, let's try another one of these. We've proven we can do it, but we've also proven it can take care of us at the same time. Okay, 2. Three. Okay. 4. Last one's crystallized. 5. 6. They're on the right side here. This is wild. So here's the new Spellblade passive for next season. Yeah, that hurt a little bit. Cough is just hanging on by a thread. Will Shadowrend traversal have iframes or a node that gives iframes like shift or smoke bomb traversal? I saw this in the Discord. I'm sorry I didn't answer this yet. I was going to answer it. Got a little distracted today. I will answer it in the Discord because I have to look it up. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Sorry. I don't remember though. Most of the time those get granted to skills that are traversal to begin with, not ones that gain traversal nodes. Not always, but usually. Is there an option to turn off the pointer on the minimap for cemeteries and tombs? If not, can we have one? Like it ruins exploration. Ah, interesting. The the quest ping, the quest like this direction, this direction. I think that's a really cool take. I don't think I've seen anyone actually request that before. Maybe I haven't, I've just forgotten. But we don't have an option for that. Having it turn off just in one location is kind of tricky to do, but it's not terrible really. The UI just doesn't know what zone you're in is the problem. Like, there's a display that knows like the text, but it doesn't have like properties of what it is and things like that. I would put that in the suggestions channel on our Discord or forums. I think it's cool. All right. In the death recap, damage redirected via the Pale Ox chest seems to still show up. As in, if you have 20% Pale Ox, 800 damage, 800 HP, and take 1,000 damage post mitigation, not counting Pale Ox, and die, it'll show 1,000 damage taken. 0 overkill, even though we only have 800 HP. Is this because Pale Ox simply redirects the damage? And as such, the hit itself technically is still dealt 1,000 damage. Yeah. The information that's available on what killed you is coming from the original hit, and it's doing that overkill damage calculation in a separate spot. So it's getting a little confused there, unfortunately. I don't know how to fix that. Why is Uber Aberoth even of an echo? I think it's mostly just in the presentation of like alternate realities of things that the Weaver can do, and having the ability to place this crazy high-end content in your echo intentionally and have it not be presented as part of the primary flow. So it's not something that we're expecting everyone to do. It's something that we're expecting people to like create as a challenge, as an optional extra challenge. I cleared the board, everybody. That very rarely happens. Flip that down there. I'm going to try this and try and reroll a whole ton of belts. Oh, yep. Get a bear out, because we're kind of useless on our own. I think I saw my turtle and turtle. Ooh, okay. I see you. Fine. Let's not die before our crafting stuff. I just want to craft stuff, guys. Come on. Let's not be jerks about this. Oh, it's the woven potential. Oh no, okay, it's right. Yes. Yes, this is the right thing. Oh, Mike. Are we just gonna do all these? All the ones? 3, 2, yeah. Oh, not that one. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Whatever one. And then I've got some belts. They're not Do this. If I do this, can I do this? Yes, good. Oh, but then I have to take them, don't I? Shoot. Mike, you did not think this through. At all. Was that a 2? Nice. We're just gonna crank these out real quick here. See if we get anything. Can we get 1, 3 from this, please? Want a second 3, the 2, the 2. Okay, where's the 2s? Two. This just won't let me do the ones that I can't put in there, so might as well just go crazy. What will let me put in? Anything? Did anything survive? Get 2? Well, we have a lot of zeros to go back to this with. That's good, I guess, right? We like zeros to be able to go back to the nemesis with. Those are 2. Yep. This is what we expected to happen. This is very much expected behavior. It is doing what we want. We're rolling for these in hopes that we can get something. At least they can still go in the nemesis. Reroll them again. Oh, where that goes right now. Not in here though. Okay, we're gonna do any other ones. Should we do any other ones? Should we do boots? More belts. More belts. I should have looked and see if there was a 3 there. Just slap it back in. If it's not more, it's done. All right. Well, I'm not gonna make you sit through all the boots. We didn't get what we wanted there. That's too bad, but that's okay. All right, got a little question right at the end here. Can you nerd out a bit about your current feature development process at EHG? Oof, I'd love to. Yeah, so do devs float between different pods depending on current needs? Yes. How does tech debt prioritizing fit into work, etc.? So usually, I kind of want to go over this more in depth when we're right at the end of the stream. Brief version of this is this would have been good if I should have looked over to see this question earlier. I'm sorry. We usually have people get like if there's a new feature, depending on how big the feature is, we'll have some number of devs like leading that feature and like pushing and driving it attached to it, and that's kind of mostly what you're working on. And then maybe you get like other bugs from some feature you worked on in the past that you go to fix on, like hop over that to fix those bugs and come back. But you're driving typically on one feature primarily, sort of thing. Yeah, it's mostly what happens. But sometimes you get people that are like all over the place working on a ton of things. But you get assigned pretty heavily to one thing. I'd love to talk about this more later, but yes, it is time to end. So on that terrible disappointment, it is time to end, and we will see you next time. I'll be back same time, same place next week. If I didn't answer your question, I apologize. It was not intentional. Please head on over to our Discord. We do have an Ask the Devs channel where I'll do my best to answer your question. We also have lots of great community members over there answering questions. That's about it. Yeah. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.